Just want to let you go. Oh Lord, my God, when I know some wonder, consider all the worlds thy hands have made. I see stars, thy power throughout the universe display, and then sings my, oh, my Savior. You're welcome, users. Today we are going to do. You're welcome, users. Today we are going to do. You're welcome, users. Logo design. Today we are going to do. You're welcome, users. Today we are going to do. You're welcome, users. Today we are going to do. So we are going to do a logo design. I hope you all can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Okay. So we have a design for this company called um, Phallus. So this is the name of the company we are trying to design for. Okay. So the name of the company is called Phallus. I want to do a quick design for them. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, we have to think about it and let's see what we can do. Because designing a logo for a company is not that simple. You have to understand whatever you are trying to design. Do you get it? Okay. So hold on, let me just grab some few pens so that we can continue. Okay. So first of all, let's work on the typography that we want to do. Okay. Is that okay? Is that okay? So I want us to select it and which font style are we going to use? That's one thing I want us to do. Okay. So one of my favorite fonts, I just want to use Champagne and Limousines. So this Champagnes and what Limousines. Let's change this to small letters. Let me see. Okay. So hold on, let me just clear this and just change them to small letters. Okay, so this is the name of whatever we are trying to design. Okay, so we want it bold, so we can work with it. Okay, okay. So first of all, let's ask ourselves what is Phallus all about? So this is actually an entrepreneur who is into what sneakers and picture frames. Yeah, but aside everything, she believes in that as time goes on, there will be more goods being added to it. So meaning we can't just design based on sneakers and then also picture frames. So we have to do something, global for her. Okay. So first of all, you just have to select your text and you just create outlines and let's know what you're going to do with it. Okay. So we're going to ungroup it. So when you ungroup it, we are able to separate each text and whatever we want to do with it. Okay. So this is what it's all about. Okay. So this is what it's all about. I really want to maintain the text because they look very good to me, but I would love to add some, spacings in them. So let's space them out. Let's see how it works like. So I'm just going to increase this to have some space in between them. Okay. I just want to have some space in between them. That's one thing I want to do. Okay. So let me just create an outline again, then ungroup it. So meaning we can just have this separate. Same applies to what all of them. Okay. So let's do something crazy with whatever we have over here. Okay. So this file is again. Let's do something crazy. I can just click here. Sorry, and just go to types and you know get a lot of what ligatures over here so we can see what they have for us. One of the nice ligatures is what is from this text called rose, okay, or rose. I don't know how you're going to pronounce it though, but let me just show you so you can install that. So this rose merona or rose merona. So it has some nice ligatures that you can use over here. So let's go to access or alternative and you can see that these are some of the ligatures I have over here. So in terms of the P, how you want it to be like, you can choose the one what you like over here. Okay. Um let's come to um let's pick another font to also see some of the ligatures or the glyphs that it also have here. So Let me go through my collections. Let me just pick Time Romance and see if it has something nice. Require ligatures. Okay, so there's nothing nice over here for that. So let me just try the font Playfair. So we have Playfair display, and let me see if it has any ligature for it. Okay. Yeah, all these ones looks normal to me. It's just look normal to me. So I want something extraordinary to make the P stance very nice and clear. There's so many fonts that I have here, so let me just try and get you one nice one. Okay. What about the Inter? Let's check about the Inter font to see what we have over there. I think all of these are not nice. So let's still go back to the Rose Merona. I think that's what we're going to use for this design. Okay. If not that, we are going to create our own. So let's just use Merona and let's check on that. Okay. So let's look into more description now. Okay. I'm looking for a P. Okay. I need a good P for my logo design. So let me just okay. So let me just pick one for you. Okay. Hmm. So let me just pick this P. That's what we are going to be using for for it. Okay. So give me a second. I'll be right back with you. So welcome back. Sorry guys. I wanted a stand for my codings and all that. Okay, so let's use this P. I don't know. I once had nice P. I don't know why this I'm not getting a good one. Let me see if I can change it here to any capital P. I don't know why mine this is not responding. Okay, so let's enlarge it. So we've gotten a P over here. So let's take this out. Um, and let's keep this to what? Yeah. So this is phallus that we want to. What else do you want to add more to it? I feel we love to add something more to make it look nice. So let me just pick this I. Okay, let me just pick this I and just grab and get a copy of it again, and let's release compounds. Sorry guys. I don't need the dots over there. So I need this. Yeah. So I'm gonna change this and make it very colorful. I don't know that some of the colors I want though, but I want to make it very colorful. So let's pick a gradient to make it. So we're gonna pick a gradient color to use over here. Let's zoom in more to have a good tensions about it. So what are some of the colors that we want to choose? So here, some of the colors I think this customer wants purple. So we're gonna choose something close to what? Yeah, purple. Then remember, you see, we try to give the side a white color. So if this logo design happens to fall on a white color, it's going to be what? Something else. So we should we let's give it a shadow so that it doesn't get missing as well. So I'm going to give it what? A drop shadow, which is going to be black, and let's see how it's going to be like. So the drop shadow, I think where the shadow is, we don't like it, right? So we have to what? Correct it ourselves. Okay, so this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So let's come to the y-axis and make it a minus sign. So a minus number. Okay, let's try that for the x as well. So you can see that the if so let's increase it over here. We add 1 to it. So we're gonna make it 20. Okay, let's maintain the 7 like that. Okay, let's check this one out. Let's see where the shadow is still. Okay, so when we give this a minus, it went up. So we don't need the up part. We just want it to shift to the side. So let's give this rather the minus for the x, and let's see how it's gonna be like. So you see it move a little bit up. So let's give this -6, and let's see how it's gonna be like. So minus is still high. So what about -5? So let's make it 3. Three still, let's make it two, or even zero. Zero is much okay if you're not gonna get something like that. Zero is much okay. But the drop down over here is too much. Let's make it five. Okay, let's make it five. So let's just save it and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so let's reduce it and see how it looks like. You're trying to get something. I guess it's trying to look good a little bit. Yeah, it's trying to look good. So let's make it more good. Let's make it more good. I think the whiteness of this is a little bit too far for me. So why don't you make this and just send it backwards? Um, if it is sent backwards, this is gonna be like. So let's see how. Let's try and look at it again. Okay, so the down over here, I think the edges is not nice for me, and I just wish we can just do something about it. I don't know if you're going to buy into that, but I feel we just have to do something, you know, about it. Okay, so let me just try and get the shape, the borders of this. Okay, so let me just try and pick this. I just want the down part to be able to cover. It feels like it is reading something. That's how it feels like. But I want to work on it. Okay, so let's drag this a little bit. Let's drag this a little bit. I don't know if I'm using the right tool, but let's try and drag it a little bit. Then let's take this up and this also up. If this are we going to do it, then this is also going to go up a little bit. Okay, I think it's not nice, but let's try again. This is much okay. To me, this much okay. Okay. So let's work on the P. Sorry, the A as well. Let's separate this and let's make this. This is rule. Okay. So let's fix this over here. So with file selections, what are we going to do more? We just have to understand whatever we are trying to design. So let's go to the layers and try and get what we are looking for. So this is what I'm trying to select. Because sometimes it's hard trying to select what you want. So just copy and paste. So let's pick that and what fix this inside over here. But this time around we don't need the shadow. So we're just gonna take the shadow off because we don't need the shadow. Yeah, we don't need a shadow. So we're just gonna take it off. Yeah. So we're just gonna release compounds and again now we can just drag it to wherever we want to drag. I don't know if we still want that or so that's this are gonna be like. Do you think this is nice? So if it is not nice, you just have to let me know. Maybe you can get a better A. So let's go to the glyphs, the type, then go back to the glyphs again, and let's check on that. If we can have a better one. Where's the glyphs? Okay, so let's look for a better A. So we're just gonna type, and this is okay. This is what we need. Let's make it a huge change, and let's take the whole thing out. So we just gonna need it later. So let's pick this over here, and let's call it colors. I want to have add something to the side that is gonna make it. I basically make some colorful patterns for the side. Okay, but I can't just make it only text. I can't make it only text. I just need something to just put there. So whatever we give it a color, and let's see how it's gonna feel like. Yeah. some sort of a color. And okay, so let's try and add one more to it, and let's see how it's gonna be. But I'm gonna change the color of this. I'm gonna change the color of this. Yeah, so I change this to white. So there's a files collection. Let me just try and get a copy of this and paste again. By this time around, it's going to be flipped. Okay, it's going to be flipped. It's going to be flipped 180 degrees. So yeah, it's going to be flipped 180 degrees. I, I don't know what is over here, but it's not trying to capture raw. But I think let's group it so that it's very easy when working with it. So let's group this. Um, this particular thing, I have to make it one. Yeah. So same applies to this. I just have to make it one. Okay. So let's try and pick it up. I've seen something. Feel like feel like this is very very sharp. So it just okay. Let's stretch it a bit. Let's stretch it a bit. So I think this also has to stretch a bit to make it a little bit calm. Okay, so it is trying a bit to give some sense of it's trying to give a bit of a Fathers collection. Okay, so it doesn't make sense a little bit, but I think we have to restructure the whole thing again to make it look good. What do you think? Yeah, we have to structure the whole thing again to what um make it look good. That's what to me I feel. Yeah. Mhm. That's what to me I feel about this. Yeah. So let's start a whole process again. So we're just gonna do it, box six, and we have to copy and paste another one. So let's here at the paste. I want to add another one with a white color, and we're just gonna fill this with a white color, and let's see how it's gonna be like. Okay, so is it filling? This look like in real estate, design. Oh, I don't want anything like this. Yeah. Oh, see, I see, I see. Let's try and just, transform it, rotate it, and let's see. Um, so 90 degrees. Okay, so um, let's see how this is gonna be like. This. Hmm, is reaching it into wide gonna be okay? I don't know if changing it to white is gonna be okay, but I think I'm beginning to feel a vibe of, like a P. That's what I'm beginning to feel. Okay, I'm beginning to feel the vibe of what a P. I don't know if you're getting me though. So let me just use the size of the image a little bit. Beginning to feel the vibe of a P. Beginning to feel the vibe of a P. Mm. Beginning to feel the vibe of a P. So this might make sense though, but let's see. So this is a father's collection which has an edge to it. I don't know if you can get the edge right though, but what are some of the circles that makes an edge? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if there's any circle that's gonna make an edge for us to, but let's see. Let's change that to white as well. Let's see. So um this makes something like this. So it makes something like this, and let's see this one also making a challenge of another one, which is gonna be something approximately approximately. Hmm. Just design a logo like this. So let's try and put. Mm, this is gonna be a smaller version of this, and just make it black. And let me see how it's gonna be like. This is gonna be like it's not moving. So no, I'm not feeling the vibe. I'm not feeling the vibe. Let's change this rather to black color, and let's move this. Okay, so let's reduce the size of this to see it. Just cricket. It's not even allowing me to fix this in. Let's close this, you know, layer. Hmm. Let's look at this. Is it going well for you? To me, it's a no. To me, it's a no. To me, it's a no. Yeah, it's enough for me. Yeah, it's enough for me. Yes, it is enough for me. It's really enough for me.